The sun peeked over the rooftops of the sleepy town of Mayville, splashing golden light on the porch of a small blue house with a crooked mailbox that still stubbornly leaned like it had been drinking since 1992. Inside, a symphony of jazz and paintbrushes had already begun. Lila Grace, age 27 and full of stardust, sat cross-legged on the hardwood floor, her tongue poking out in fierce concentration. A canvas in front of her bloomed with streaks of blue, yellow, and something that might have been a dolphin or a very happy banana. To Lila, it was art. To anyone else? Still art, just very enthusiastic art. She wore purple overalls, a t-shirt with a cat in space on it, and the world's widest grin because today was Thursday. And Thursday meant French toast, café clementine, and if she could work up the courage, the bank. Lila paused, dipping her brush in water and staring at the calendar. The tiny cartoon star she had drawn next to today's date almost glowed. Today is the day, Picasso, she whispered to herself. Picasso, in this case, was a battered stuffed panda that had been with her through 12 birthdays, 3 surgeries, and that one unfortunate camping trip with raccoons. Scene 1, Café Clementina Cave Clementine, was the kind of place that had jazz playing, waiters who remembered your name, and croissants that should probably be illegal in 17 states. Lila came every Thursday morning. Not for the croissants. Okay, partly, but for the people. "Hey, sunshine," called out Mo, the barista with the green beard and too many piercings to count. "Hi, Mo, you look like a cactus," Lila said brightly. Mo grinned. "Best compliment I've had all week." She ordered the usual French toast with strawberries, no syrup, and a hot chocolate with extra marshmallows. She always sat at table 3. That's where the morning sun hit just right, and it made her feel like she was in a spotlight just for a moment. Regulars waved. Some high-fived her. Mr. Jenkins, the grumpy guy from the hardware store, even brought her a flower once, then denied it. Here, Lila wasn't the girl with Down syndrome. She was just Lila, funny, sweet, sometimes blunt enough to make grown men blush, and often the most delightful part of someone's Thursday. Scene 2. I want my own money. Back home. Rosa was wrestling with laundry like it had personally offended her. "Mom?" Layla appeared in the doorway, her fingers fidgeting. "Yes, honey?" Lila took a deep breath, clearly rehearsed. "I want to open a bank account." Rosa blinked. "Sweetheart, we've talked about this. I know, but I want to. By myself." The words came out with all the stubborn courage of someone standing on a cliff, ready to jump into the unknown. And Rosa's heart clenched. Flashback. The hospital room 27 years ago. A younger Rosa sat in a sterile hospital room, cradling a newborn with almond-shaped eyes and a hard murmur. Doctors had crowded in, delivering news like, "Wrecking balls, she may never speak clearly. She may need assistance for life. She may not understand complex things." But as that tiny hand curled around Rosa's finger, all Rosa could think was, "You're mine. And I will fight for you until the end of time." Back to present and fight she had. Through school battles, sideways glances, and the kind of bureaucracy that could melt a brain. But now, Lila was asking for something else. Independence. "Okay," Rosa said slowly. "If it means that much to you, we'll go tomorrow." Layla's squeal could have woken ghosts. Scene 3. The bank, the Mayville branch of Redwood National Bank, was all chrome, frowns, and fluorescent lights that buzzed like annoyed bees. It was not Lila's kind of place, but she had worn her best shoes, brushed her hair exactly 27 strokes, and brought a folder labeled Lila's Important Stuff, No Touching. "Please." In bubble letters. "Hi," she chirped at the receptionist. "I'm here to open a bank account." The receptionist blinked, then looked at Rosa. Do you have her paperwork? Lila stepped forward. I have my ID and a list. See? The woman barely glanced. Her smile was that corporate kind, polite, but chilly enough to freeze tea. You'll need to sit and wait, she said. So they did. For 27 minutes, people came and went. Some were helped. Others got coffee. Lila sat upright, folder in her lap, humming to herself. But her grip on the folder tightened. Mom? She whispered. Yeah? She looked at me like I was dumb. Rosa's jaw clenched. You are the smartest human I know. Lila smiled. Even smarter than you? Rosa rolled her eyes. Let's not get crazy. Scene 4. The cold welcome. Finally, a man in a tight tie appeared. Next, they stood. The man glanced at Lila, then back at Rosa. Is she the one opening the account? I am, Lila said. My name is Lila Grace. I brought all my stuff. The man's brow furrowed slightly. He didn't invite them to sit. He just stood. You're aware there are legal and financial responsibilities to opening an account? Yes, Lila said. I want to save up for a red scooter. With glitter. The man's lips twitched. We usually require a guardian to be involved. I am involved, Rosa said. But this is her money, her choice. I'll have to check with our manager, the man muttered, already walking away. Scene ends in silence. They stood there, feeling smaller than before, and somewhere deep inside Lila, a tiny crack appeared. Not because of rejection she'd faced that, but because she wasn't even seen, and yet she didn't cry. Didn't shout out, she just whispered to her mom, tomorrow I'm bringing someone even better than paperwork. Okay, world, Lila whispered, standing in front of her mirror. Let's try this again. She wore her brightest outfit, an electric blue dress with little suns embroidered along the hem, yellow Converse sneakers, and her lucky necklace that said, Believe in cursive silver. Her hair was tied in 2 buns, her power puffs. As she called them, she adjusted the strap of her messenger bag, patted Picasso the panda, who now wore a tiny tie for moral support, and held up her freshly labeled folder. Try again, world. Today, she wouldn't cry. Today, she wouldn't let anyone talk over her. Today, she was Lila Grace, independent lady and future scooter owner. Are you sure? Rosa asked gently, standing in the doorway. I'm more sure than I've ever been, Lila said, with a firmness that made Rosa blink. Also, I had a lot of sugar. That tracks. Scene. The ride over. As they drove, Layla stared out the window, watching the morning sunlight dance across trees and buildings. Like the world was rooting for her. She mumbled to herself, rehearsing. Good morning. I would like to open an account, please. I brought my ID. It's not expired. I want to save for a glitter scooter and adult things like ... taxes. Also, I am very brave. Rosa squeezed her hand at a red light. I love you. She said. I love you more, Lila replied. Also, you have lipstick on your tooth. Dang it. Scene. Return to the bank. The Redwood National Bank had the same dull gray walls. The same fake ficus tree in the corner. The same receptionist, who blinked just a little too slowly, but Lila stood straighter this time. Good morning, she said brightly, walking to the counter. The receptionist barely glanced up. Do you have an appointment? Nope, Lila chirped. I'm here to open an account. I brought my ID, my social security card, and a snack, but I ate it already. The woman's expression didn't shift. Take a seat. Someone will be with you. Lila turned to Rosa. She didn't even smile. She's probably allergic to joy, Rosa muttered. Scene. The waiting room had that awkward quiet. Music played softly overhead. The kind of bland piano that sounds like a lullaby written by someone who hated lullabies. Lila's fingers tapped her bag. She looked around. There was a man sitting 2 chairs down. Tall, ball cap, beard, reading a book titled Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. He looked familiar. Scene. The mockery Lila Grace? A sharply dressed man, same one from yesterday, stood at the door to the office. She followed him inside, heart pounding but face determined. As she sat down, he looked over her documents with the enthusiasm of a DMV sloth. So, you're here to open an account, again? Yes, please, Lila said. I'm saving up for a scooter, glitter one. The man raised an eyebrow. And, you understand this isn't a toy account, correct? Layla blinked. What's a toy account? It's not for fun money. This is a real bank. Layla's voice dipped. My money is real too, he sighed. Right, and your guardian. She's outside. But I want to do this. I practiced. He didn't smile. He didn't even pretend. Instead, he pulled out a form and said, well, the system might not approve an account in your name without certain protections. We'll need to process this carefully. Like bubble wrap? Lila asked. Something like that, he replied, voice cold. Lila's heart started to sink. He didn't want to help her. He was just waiting for her to mess up. Scene. The public embarrassment. He handed her a pen. Sign here. Oh wait, can you sign? People nearby turned their heads. A few customers chuckled. One whispered, why even let her try? Another muttered, this is a waste of time. Layla's cheeks turned hot. The words blurred on the paper. She could feel everyone's eyes, not in curiosity, but judgment. She stood up, blinking fast. Maybe I should come back, she whispered. The banker gave a tight-lipped nod. Probably best. She turned to leave, voice caught in her throat. Scene. Is this how you treat everyone? A chair scraped back behind her. A man stood. He took off his hat. Every head turned. The silence was sudden and sharp, like a balloon popping in a funeral. Lila froze. Rosa stood up, eyes wide. The man stepped forward, calm, measured, eyes not angry but disappointed in a way that made people shift uncomfortably. Is this how you treat everyone who walks in here, or just her? The banker swallowed. I beg your pardon? The man looked at Lila. Then back at the banker. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you just humiliated a customer who came prepared, polite, and full of hope. All because she doesn't look like your usual paperwork. Gasps. Someone dropped their coffee. The security guard blinked and nearly tripped over his own feet. The woman at reception turned ghost pale. Lila's hands were shaking. Rosa had one hand over her mouth. The man leaned forward slightly. If this is how your bank operates, I'll be sure to mention it in my next interview. The world could use a reminder of what dignity doesn't look like. The banker stammered. Sir, a woman nearby whispered, that's Keanu Reeves. Someone else. No way, another. He's taller in real life. Lila looked up, wide-eyed. He turned to her, his voice softer now. Lila, right? She nodded. You know my name? He smiled. It's a good name. Then he looked around. The lobby. You came here to do something brave. And they treated you like you didn't matter. But you do. And you're not alone. Silence. The kind that feels like a held breath in the middle of a storm. Rosa finally whispered, Is that who I think it is? Lila smiled, trembling. Yeah, she said. That's John Wick. Keanu chuckled. And the bank? It had never felt colder or more awake. It started with a 17-second video. A teenager named Milo Nguyen, bored out of his skull while waiting for his grandmother to sort out her ATM pin, happened to be scrolling TikTok and sipping an aggressively sugared boba tea. When he saw the whole thing unfold, Lila's attempt, the banker's dismissal, and then Keanu freaking Reeves standing up like a knight dipped in espresso and velvet. Milo's hand shook as he hit record. Yo, he whispered into the video. This bank just messed with the wrong girl. Keanu Reeves just went full John Wick but emotionally supportive in here. He uploaded it with the caption, "This is Lila. She got mocked for having Down syndrome. Then Keanu happened. Hashtag kindness wins, hashtag Keanu Reeves, hashtag Layla the legend." By the time he finished his tea, the video had 2,400 views. By lunch, 2 million. Seen. Viral tsunami. It was as if someone had taken a match and dropped it into a bucket of fireworks. By midnight, Layla's face, determined, confused, then shyly grateful, was everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Yes, even the grown-ups couldn't help themselves. Clips flooded in from other customers who'd seen it. Love angles from every direction. People narrating over it like it was the Zapruder film of wholesome content. One YouTube channel titled it, "Girl with Down Syndrome Humiliated at Bank. Then Keanu Reeves appears like a beautiful avenging angel." The comments poured in like a monsoon. "I cried watching this. Go, Lila." Keanu being Keanu. Again, what a man. The way she held her folder, man. I'm not okay. This broke my heart and then rebuilt it in 2 minutes flat. By the next morning, hashtag Lila Grace was trending worldwide, and Redwood National Bank? Their mentions were a digital dumpster fire, scene, damage control, but make it awkward, the bank's PR department scrambled like squirrels in a blender. A hastily written press release came out around 10 a.m., filled with sterile phrases like, "Committed to inclusive excellence. Deeply regret any misunderstanding. Reviewing internal training procedures." But the internet was not here for it. Comedian Sarah Silverman tweeted, "Inclusive excellence? Try basic human decency." Hashtag Layla Grace deserved better. Then Oprah retweeted the video with, "Every now and then, someone reminds us who we should all be. Today that person is Lila Grace." And just like that, game over. Scene. The call. Rosa nearly dropped her coffee. When the phone rang, "Hi, is this the home of Lila Grace?" "Yes." Rosa said warily, "This is Kara Jenkins, producer for Morning Light with Stephanie Ray. We were wondering if Lila would be willing to appear on tomorrow's show as our special guest." Rosa blinked. On TV? "Yes, ma'am." "In studio? If possible. Or remote if preferred. America's in love with your daughter." Rosa covered the receiver and looked at Lila, who was painting a picture of a cat driving a go-kart. "You want to go on TV?" Lila gasped. "Can I wear my star crown?" Scene. Mama Bear worries that night. Rosa paced. TV? Exposure? The world? What if they mock you, baby? What if they twist your words? Lila looked up from Picasso's new Bodhi. "Mama," she said gently, "I don't want them to talk about me. I want to talk for myself. You said I was brave. Let me be brave." And with that, Rosa stopped pacing, because her daughter wasn't just brave, she was unstoppable. Scene. The interview. The set of Morning Light sparkled. Cameras, lights, a crowd of strangers. Lila wore her blue dress again, but this time with a gold scarf and the star crown. Because if she was going to shine, she was going to shine. Host Stephanie Ray beamed. "Welcome to the show, Lila Grace." "Thank you," Lila said, gripping her folder. "TV stuff, please be nice." "Lila," Stephanie began, "the world saw how brave you were. But I want to ask, what made you go back to the bank after the way they treated you?" Layla smiled. "Because I'm not a quitter. I wanted to try again. Everyone deserves a chance to try again." The audience exhaled as one. "And what would you say to the people who laughed at you?" Layla shrugged. "I'd say, maybe you were having a bad day. But please don't make me feel small to feel big." Even the cameraman dabbed his eyes. Stephanie was blinking back tears. "That's Wow. That's a message we all need. Scene. A surprise guest. Kind of. Stephanie turned to the camera. And we have one more surprise. Lila, someone wanted to send you a message. The screen lit up. Keanu appeared, smiling in a sunny room, wearing a hoodie that read, "Be excellent." To each other. Hey Lila, I just wanted to say what you did was amazing. You walked into that room with courage, and you showed us all what strength really looks like. I'm honored I got to witness it. Lila gasped, holding her cheeks. And one more thing, he added. I know you mentioned wanting a scooter. So, I hope this helps. Cut to a video of a custom-designed, glitter-red electric scooter with Layla's name engraved on the side and little stars decorating the wheels. Audience. Rosa, Lila, shut the front door. Scene. America falls in. Love. By the time Lila and Rosa flew home, the world had changed. Fan mail. Job offers. Interviews. Letters from other young adults with disabilities saying, "You made me feel seen." And Lila? She just painted a new canvas that night. It said, in bold purple letters, I didn't just open a bank account, I opened hearts. The backlash and the breakthrough. 3 days after the interview aired, the world was still singing Lila Grace's name. Talk shows were gushing. Hashtags were trending. Scooter companies offered custom rides. Celebrities tweeted admiration like she was some glittery Joan of Arc. But fame has a short attention span. And an even shorter temper. Scene. The internet bites back. The first nasty comment appeared quietly, like a roach under the fridge. This is just another feel-good story to make normies feel better. She didn't do anything. Then another. Keanu got played by a sympathy stunt. Then a TikTok trend. Clips of Layla's interview were edited and dubbed over with baby voices and slow, mocking claps. Someone posted a reaction video titled, "When Hollywood Pretends a Disabled Girl is a Hero for Existing." It blew up. Not with love. With laughs. Scene. Lila sees the hate. Rosa tried to hide it at first. She deleted comments, reported trolls, even tried to block certain hashtags. But Lila wasn't naive. She walked into the kitchen one morning, holding her phone with trembling fingers. "Mom," she said, her voice thin. "Am I a joke?"
Rosa froze. "No, baby, of course not. They said I'm fake."
That Keanu only helped me to look good. That I'm not brave. Just ... Sad. Rosa reached for her, but Lila stepped back. "I'm not sad, Mama. I was proud. But now..." She sniffled. "Now I feel like a balloon with no string." Scene. The retreat. Lila canceled the radio interview scheduled that afternoon and the school visit. And the art event. She turned off her phone, unplugged the Wi-Fi, buried herself in blankets and didn't come out even for French toast. Picasso the panda sat beside her, staring at the wall like a bodyguard with no one to protect. Scene. The package. On day 4, the mailman brought a package, flat, square, and wrapped in galaxy print paper. Rosa placed it on Lila's bed. "From someone named Zoe," she said softly. Lila didn't move until she noticed the sticker on the back. Made with heart and Elmer's glue. She cracked it open. Inside was a child's watercolor of a girl with stars in her hair, arms open wide. The smile was crooked, but wide, like Lila's. A note was taped to the back in shaky pencil. "Dear Lila, my name is Zoe. I have Down syndrome too. I never talk at school because I get scared. But after I saw you on TV, I told my teacher I want to be brave like Lila. Now I have a folder that says, 'Try hard, Zoe.' You help me use my voice. I love your smile and your crown." From Zoe, age 7 3/4. Lila's breath hitched. Then broke. Tears spilled freely, not the kind that sting, but the kind that heal. She clutched the note to her chest and whispered, I'm not a trend. I'm a message. Scene. The video that changed everything. The next morning, Lila borrowed Rosa's old webcam. She brushed her hair, wore a yellow sweater, and sat in front of her easel with Zoe's painting propped up behind her. No music. No edits. No filters. Just her. She looked into the lens. Hi, my name is Lila Grace. Some people say I'm just a story. Or that I got lucky. Or that I'm not smart. But I want to say something. I am not a trend. I am not a charity case. I am not your lesson in kindness. I'm a person, with dreams, with messy days, with bad hair mornings and sparkly folders. And if you don't like that, you can scroll away. But don't silence people like me. Because someone out there is listening. And they might need me, just like Zoe needed me. And maybe I needed her too. She ended with a wink. P.S. I still want my scooter. The video went live on her newly launched channel, Lila Speaks. By sunset, it had 9.3 million views. Scene. The call from Keanu that evening. The landline rang. Rosa answered. Hello? Hi, is this Rosa, Lila's mom? Yes. This is Keanu Reeves. Rosa sat down so fast she missed the chair. I watched Lila's video, he said. Twice. I cried. I don't cry often. She's got that effect. Rosa whispered. May I speak to her? Rosa handed the phone to Lila, mouthing "'tis him" like a silent movie actress in a panic. Lila took it, heart thumping. Hi? Lila, it's Keanu. Long pause. You're my favorite person right now, he said. Lila giggled. Cool, you're like top 5 for me. He laughed. Fair. Then, would you be my guest next month at the Voices Rising Gala? It's a big event for advocacy in film and arts. You'd be speaking, or painting, or just showing up and stealing the show. Silence. Lila? She was crying again, but smiling. Can I wear my star crown? You better, Keanu said. They won't know what hit him. First glimpse of glamour. The hotel lobby was marble and velvet, lit with chandeliers that looked like upside-down galaxies. A concierge in a gold-trimmed blazer offered them lemon-infused water. Lila stared at the elevator mirror and whispered, My eyebrows are famous now. They need to behave. She spent the next hour rehearsing smiles in front of the bathroom mirror while Rosa nervously steamed her daughter's gold gala dress, a glimmering number that made Lila look like a sunrise had taken human form and learned sass. Scene. The red carpet, a sleek black car whisked them to the venue. Outside, cameras, spotlights, velvet ropes, fans holding signs. Lila nearly mistook the crowd for a Marvel movie premiere. Welcome to the Voices Rising Gala, the driver said, opening the door. Lila stepped out and the first flashbulbs exploded like fireworks. Lila Grace. Over here. Can we see the crown? Yes. She wore it. Because if she was going to rise, she was bringing her sparkle with her. Rosa, holding back tears, whispered, Go on, shine. Scene. Unexpected. Celebrity reporters expected a nervous girl. Instead, they got Lila Grace, full power. What are you wearing tonight? One called out. She twirled. Confidence. With a little glitter. What's your message tonight? Another asked. People like me don't need fixing, she said brightly. We just need listening. The crowd cheered. One actor whispered. To his date. Who is this girl? His date answered. Our next keynote, apparently. Scene. The head table inside, chandeliers dripped crystal. Table shimmered. The guest list was a who's who of activists, actors, artists, and people who knew the power of a good story. Lila was escorted to the head table between Keanu Reeves and a Paralympic gold medalist named Maya Tran. Keanu leaned over. Hey, superstar. Lila blinked. You remembered my eyebrows. Scene. The panic backstage. 5 minutes before her speech, Lila froze. Her notes were in her bag, but her courage? That had left the building. I can't, she whispered to Rosa. What if I mess up? What if they laugh? Rosa squeezed her shoulders. Messing up doesn't make you small. It makes you real. But I'm not famous like them. No, you're braver. Scene. Keanu's calm Keanu found her in the green room, crouched. Next to Picasso, who now wore a tuxedo bow. He knelt. Lila, I've done hundreds of speeches, movies, press junkets. I still get nervous. She looked up, surprised. You're Keanu Reeves. And you're Lila Grace, the girl who told the world, I'm not a trend. I'm a person. That takes guts I only pretend to have in movies. She smiled weakly. Want a tip? He added. Speak like Zoe's listening, Lila nodded. I hope she is. Scene. Zoe's message right then. The tech crew handed her a tablet. It's a surprise, they said. She hit play. Zoe appeared on screen sitting, cross-legged with glitter on her cheeks and missing her 2 front teeth. Hi, Lila. I'm watching you with my class. We made popcorn. And I made a painting of you with wings because you make me feel like I can fly. I love you. Lila's eyes welled. She took a breath. All right, she said, standing tall. Time to fly. Scene. The speech, the lights dimmed. The MC announced her name. Applause rumbled like distant thunder. Lila walked onto the stage, golden dress catching the light. She looked out at hundreds of faces. No script, just heart. She began. Hi, I'm Lila Grace. You probably know me from that video where Keanu Reeves helped me at a bank. But here's the thing. I didn't come here to be saved. I came here to be seen. And I think maybe that's what everyone wants, to be seen for real. Not as a headline, not as a project, but as a person. I have Down syndrome. That's not my weakness. It's my flavor. I talk different. I think different. I love different. But I still dream. Just like you. I dream of painting walls that make people happy. I dream of traveling the world with my panda. I dream of a scooter with glitter tires. And I dream of a world where kids like Zoe don't have to wait for someone else to stand up. They get to stand up first. And guess what? They will. I believe that. Thank you. Dead. Silence. Then, like an earthquake of joy, the room exploded. Standing ovation. Cheers. Maya Tran sobbing. Keanu slow clapping like a proud uncle in a tux. Scene. A new offer backstage. An executive from a major nonprofit found her. We've been searching for someone to lead our new national inclusion tour. Schools, colleges, corporations. We'd like it to be you. Lila blinked. Do I get snacks? The woman laughed. We'll make it rain French toast. A movement on wheels, city after city. School after school. She stood in gyms with squeaky floors, libraries that smelled like crayons, and auditoriums. Buzzing with middle schoolers pretending to be cool while secretly beaming. Everywhere she went, she left something behind, a mural. Painted by her, students, and volunteers. Wings. Always wings. Each city adding its own feathers. Labeled Kindness Can Fly. Students who felt invisible began speaking. Teachers cried. Cafeterias held impromptu jam sessions. In one school, a boy with selective mutism simply handed her a drawing and whispered, "Thank you for showing up." Scene. Trouble in Trumbull Creek, Pennsylvania. Population. Small, skeptical, and suspicious of outsiders. Lila's tour was scheduled to visit the middle school. Flyers were printed. Students made posters. The gym was cleaned. Even the janitor was excited. But 3 days before the event, a bombshell dropped. The school board voted 3-2 to cancel Lila's visit. Official reason? Her message has become politicized. The attention is distracting from education. Unofficial reason? We're not sure someone like that is a role model. When the news hit, the internet gasped. Then raged. But in Trumbull Creek? The students weren't mad. They were ready. Scene. The students rise. A 14-year-old named Jaden took the lead. He texted Lila personally. They can block a gym, not a park. The next day, signs appeared all over town. Lila in the park, 4 p.m. Saturday, speak truth with U.S. Kids showed up with face paint, guitars, foldable chairs. Parents brought cookies. Seniors brought lemonade. One girl brought her therapy alpaca. Long story, local musicians played acoustic covers. Art stations popped up. A massive canvas was laid out on the grass labeled, "This is what inclusion looks like." And at the center of it all, Lila, quiet, thoughtful, wearing her crown, seen. Doubt returns as she watched the growing crowd. Her voice shook. "What if I'm making it worse?" she asked Rosa. Rosa smiled. "You're not making noise, sweetheart. You're making music." Then from the crowd cheers erupted because someone very, very familiar was walking toward the mic. Scene. Keanu strikes again. Keanu Reeves, hoodie, jeans, and sunglasses, casually strolled onto the makeshift stage like it was the Oscars. And he forgot his tie. People screamed. Phones flew up. He took the mic, smiled, and said, "I came today because Lila didn't back down. And because courage like hers, it doesn't belong in a school board office. It belongs out here where the real learning happens." He stepped aside. Now let's hear from the woman herself. Scene. Lila's moment. Lila took the stage. No podium, no teleprompter. Just truth. "They said I was too political. But I don't even understand politics. I just want people to feel safe in their skin. They said I was distracting. But maybe we should be distracted from what we ignore. They said someone like me doesn't belong in schools. But I went to school too. I was that girl in the corner, holding her lunch tray, waiting for someone to say, 'Come sit here.' And guess what? I still am. For every kid still waiting. I'm here now. And I'm not leaving." Scene. The aftermath. The rally made national news again. CNN, NPR. A montage on The Daily Show. The next day, the Trumbull Creek School Board held an emergency meeting. The vote? 5-0 in favor of bringing Lila back. She returned the following week to a crowd so big the fire department had to relocate the event to the football field. She painted with them, spoke with them, danced with them. And before she left, Jaden presented her with a plaque. Lila Grace, the girl who turned our park into a classroom. Scene. From speaker to spark that night, Keanu and Rosa sat beside her in the van. "Do you know what you're doing?" Rosa asked gently. Lila, tired but radiant, replied, "Yeah, I'm not on tour anymore. I'm building a runway, so the next one who needs to fly doesn't have to do it alone." Keanu raised his bottle of sparkling water to the runway. "To the wings," said Rosa, and Lila, she just smiled. "To the revolution." The full circle, a life changed, a world inspired. It had been 8 months since Lila Grace first walked into that cold gray bank with a bubble letter folder and the brightest dreams in town. 8 months since her world cracked open. Since a stranger stood up. Since kindness went viral. And now? She was home, seen, the welcome parade, and too many balloons. The van pulled into Mayville to find Main Street decked out like a Pixar movie had exploded. Banners read, "Welcome home. Lila Grace. Our girl with wings. We love you more than French toast." There were floats, streamers. The marching band played a slightly off-key version of "Walking on Sunshine," but no one cared. Lila stepped out in her sparkly jacket, her crown slightly crooked, Picasso clutched in one arm. The crowd chanted her name. She blinked at Rosa. Did we win a football game and nobody told me? Rosa laughed through her tears. No, sweetheart. We just won you back. Scene. The bank. Yes, that one. The Redwood National Bank had been transformed. Gone were the frosted walls and icy silence. In their place were wide-open ramps, cozy seats, a kid's reading nook, and a vibrant mural across the lobby. A banner read, Grand Reopening, Accessibility, Respect. Grace. The bank manager. No one greeted her outside. Lila, he said, genuinely smiling. We didn't get it right before, but we've been learning. Thanks to you, she nodded. Glad you made your own folder. Inside, hundreds of people gathered for the dedication. Scene. The mural behind a velvet curtain stood a 20-foot mural painted by local students and volunteers. It showed Lila, arms wide, painted in swirling colors. Behind her, wings. Dozens of them. Each feather made from handprints, each signed by someone she'd inspired. Above her head, a crown of stars. The curtain dropped. The crowd gasped, cried and cheered. Lila whispered to Rosa, Am I allowed to hug a wall? Scene. The room that bears her name next to the mural was a new wing. Open spaces, computers, sensory-friendly areas, and shelves of art supplies. A gold plaque read, The Lila Grace Room, a space to dream, speak, and soar, just like she. Taught us. Lila traced the plaque with her finger. I feel like I'm going to burst, she said. Rosa grinned. You already did. All over the world. Scene. The book that brought it all back. At the ceremony, Rosa was handed the microphone. I want to say thank you, she began. Not to the press or the programs or even to Keanu, though yes. He's great, the crowd chuckled. But to my daughter. When Lila was born, the world told me she'd be limited. But it turns out I was the one who had limits on what I thought was possible. She tore those limits down, one smile at a time. Rosa held up a small hardcover book. Unstoppable. What My Daughter Taught Me About Strength by Rosa Grace. Scene. The foundation. Keanu joined them on stage, holding back tears. Today, he announced, we launched the Grace Effect Foundation, a partnership with Lila and Rosa to support people with disabilities in art, education, and independence. Layla beamed. I get to be the boss of something? She whispered. Keanu winked. The whole thing. Lila whispered to Picasso, we're gonna need a bigger backpack. Scene. 1 year later. A second-grade classroom. Students sit cross-legged on the floor. Their teacher is reading aloud from a book titled Lila's Light, The Girl Who Brought Wings to the World. A chubby-cheeked boy in glasses raises his hand. She talks like me sometimes, he says proudly. Another girl pipes up, she's got cool hair. In the back, a child quietly paints wings on a canvas. Tiny ones, with her name on each feather. The teacher smiles. Remember, everyone has wings. We just need to believe we can use them. Final scene. The mural back in the bank lobby. The mural stands unchanged. Lila, arms wide, crown gleaming, wings alive with color. A little girl stands before it, holding her mom's hand. Who is she? The girl asks. The mother smiles. That's Lila Grace. She didn't wait to be invited. She became the invitation. The girl reaches out to touch the wall. Lila's smile, frozen in paint, seems to wink. The end.